I'm done being too cheap that will waste my life and experiences. Thank you guys for coming in and tuning in today because I want to share with you why I spend all of my money so that I can go completely broke. And it may sound super weird, like why would you want to be broke? Aren't you trying to be wealthy? Aren't you supposed to have an abundance? But here's something that you might not understand yet, but I'm going to teach you today, is that there's different seasons of life when you'll be able to have the abundance and when you need to spend all the abundance. And I want to bring you guys back because at one point I used to be super frugal and sometimes cheap. And during that time, I literally didn't have any money to spend. Most high schoolers are super poor. I would say I had a little bit more of an abundance because I worked a lot and I made a lot of money, but I also just saved it all the time instead of spending it on junk food, toys, and all this other stuff that I didn't do any impulse spending on. So I saved the majority of my income and I only spent it when I absolutely needed to, and I saw it as a really good investment for me to spend my money on. And my barrier to entry was like super high to even let a dollar go out of my hands. And so high that I actually probably limited myself to a certain extent where I could have gone bigger and I could have known way more than I do today. So during this time, although it saved me from spending money on stupid crap and I just wouldn't spend money at all, it was keeping me away from spending money where it actually mattered in my health, wealth, and time. And those are three main points where you guys should take into account today, and that's why we're going to cover them. So although I still don't like spending money today, my barrier to entry is much lower than it was, because now I look for how is this going to benefit my health? How is this going to benefit me investment wise? How is it going to make a return within my business for marketing purposes? And how is this going to save me time? So if I spend money, how far can I use this dollar where it can benefit these three things? And it'd be generally using it very smart to benefit my health, because the more healthy I am, the better I could put out, meaning the better I can work, the better I can make more money. And the more I invest into my marketing, into my business, the more that generally comes out. If I just do everything for free, don't want to spend any money on marketing, don't want to spend any money to hire someone, I'm very limited of the amount of business I can generate. So if I spend money on the marketing, I can multiply my money and not just keep it in my account. And when I spend money to save time is a super important one, because a lot of people stay in this cheap mindset where they just don't spend money that will end up saving them time. They'd rather reuse tissues and try to wash them out and hang them up, which I've seen on the TLC, instead of just buying new tissues, which are generally really cheap comparatively to your time. If you spend 2 hours doing that every day and your time is worth at least $20 an hour, there's no reason for you to do that, because it's wasting your time, which means it'd be wasting your money and your efforts, and now you're valuing your time very limitedly and very small because you're doing these tasks that you think are saving you money, but in reality, in the long term, it doesn't save you anything, and the only thing it saves is the dollar amount today that actually could have been used to make more money later. And how to really trick your mindset, and especially if you're really cheap and really frugal, which is a good thing, but start thinking more of how money is a tool. Money is just a tool in your tool belt that you can use, that you can have as much of it, but you can also spend as much of it so you can use this tool as much as you want to help these three big areas. So I want to make sure I'm the healthiest I can be, but maybe in certain seasons I'm not as healthy because I'm spending more money to provide for my business and I'm spending a lot of time in my business, so maybe I don't spend a lot of money on really good foods and like a personal trainer. Like I don't have the money to do that. I have to generate more cash flow and capital within my business, and that's the focus. So there's different seasons, but you need to use your tool somehow. If you let it sit in your account, it's actually losing money. We all know within these past few years, inflation's been crazy high and it's been going like crazy, right? All that money that you've had in your account, if it's just in a savings account, has lost value. But if you invested it into something like stock, your business, your personal knowledge, you probably already received that return on it 10x from what it was 3 years ago. So the more you save your money and just hold on to it, it's actually keeping you very limited of what you can do, because you're not using an additional tool that you have in your tool belt that'll accelerate your life. Your money in your tool belt is just the fuel that you need to add to your fire as a business owner, as even if you're just a W-2 employee, to benefit your knowledge, your personal experiences, your personal well-being, like your health. The more you use that fuel on your fire, the better the person you can be. So now when I really think about money, if I go to zero, I'll be completely fine. And here's why. Like, if I spend all my money, use all of my tool of the money aspect, spend it on my health, wealth, and time, so that I now can have more time to allocate towards the higher level tasks. I'm much more healthier, so I can work more productively. And I am probably going to be generating way more business revenue if I'm investing it into within my own business. And if you're not a business owner, maybe this means you're investing it somewhere else, like stocks, bonds, or you're lending it out to a friend. So you want your money to work for you, and you want it to also invest it into yourself. So if I go to zero, I'm willing to bet that I will make more money way faster than I ever have, because zero isn't actually zero. If I have $0, that's just a part of the tool. I still have my knowledge. I still have me. I still have all of my experiences in the past that I used that tool for, that I can now apply for anything now and in the future. So you actually expedited yourself by investing into yourself and getting all this knowledge right up front. So let's use a quick analogy here. See it like a video game. If you've played video games, this is probably really easily match up to you. And if you haven't, well, I'll see the best I can do. So when you play a video game, you start out from completely zero, right? Let's just pretend this video game, you have to upgrade your skills and abilities, and you obviously have your own skills within the game, but your player needs weapons, it needs upgrades, it needs its own abilities to defeat another opponent. But then you also have the little tokens that you can earn while you play. And at the beginning, you have absolutely nothing. So when you have absolutely nothing, you just have to go do the small little tasks so you can get a little bit of tokens. And as you add up more tokens, you can then reinvest it into yourself. So the game has like upgrades. So you can upgrade your skills and abilities to make you better. So you can defeat the other opponents faster. And so as you defeat these opponents faster, you're making more money faster. And it's just a cycle where if the faster you reinvest it back into yourself, into your player, the faster you'll be able to defeat other opponents and the more money you'll make. And maybe there's extra upgrades that says, oh, if you upgrade this, then you'll make 2x more money. So you upgrade that and you're making money way faster, even if you're defeating the opponents at the same time, but you're getting double the returns. So the more you invest in that player, the more you make, the more you make, the more you can invest in the player. And it's just a cycle and a cycle that exponentially has way more return. And if you were the player that didn't invest any of those tokens back into yourself, you'd still be spending the same time you spent from day one on trying to defeat an opponent. So it would take way longer, and you have all these tokens, but you have nothing to show for it, compared to the guy who just reinvested it in himself, and now he has all these skills and abilities, and he can probably make just as many tokens as you have in your wallet, like one quick sitting where you could not keep up with him. He is exponentially gone, out of your league. So when you apply this to yourself in real life, this means that all the money that you can use to invest into your knowledge, meaning you can get knowledge from other people today, you can get coaching today, you can create relationships today instead of waiting and trying to save your money. The more you wait, the more you're prolonging the highest level that you can reach. And within life, there is a time limit. Within the game, there's no like time limit. Usually the game just doesn't say, hey, you have 100 hours and after that 100 hours, this game's over. No, but that's what we have in life. We have a limit on our time. So we want to invest as much as we can so we can get to the highest level possible, so we can provide as much as we can to our family and friends and communities, and commit to our purpose and mission so that we can do the best we can. But if we don't invest in our knowledge and we don't invest in our skills now, and we wait, the compounding effect will also wait. So that's why I am today realizing that money is more of the tool that I can have in my tool belt. And when I go to zero, I'm actually not going to zero because I have all the knowledge and skills and relationships where I can make it back up to where I was beforehand way faster and more. And I have way more abilities to make exponentially more money so that I can reinvest that money back into myself and just do it again, and it's a cycle. And with the limited time we have, this is super crucial on implementing this today, where you want that knowledge today. Because if you wait, like I said, it means your top line is just getting lower every day. It means you aren't able to achieve what you want in the amount of time we have in this life. So try to implement as quickly as you can. Try to invest in yourself as quickly as you can so that you don't have to spend 10 years to learn something you could have spent $10,000 on and learned it day one. And then you could have spent 10 years using that skill, using that knowledge. So it's pretty simple when you really look at it this way, and you get a better feel of how the wealthy see money as a tool, whereas to them, they don't really need it. It's not going to change their life. But this is why they use it to keep investing, keep growing their wealth, keep creating stuff. Because as you see, Elon Musk, where he is the richest man in the world, has Tesla, he has his SpaceX, he's got Neuralink, he just bought Twitter. So he's doing all these things. And as a businessman, he's just trying to create and innovate new things. It's not like he needs more money. He could stop today and just do nothing. He's trying to fulfill overall purpose and mission so that he can get people to Mars someday, so that he can be a part of that. And if that's what he wants to create, he has to figure out how to leverage and reinvest everything he can today so that he can compound over time and again and again. So every day is just compounding effect so that he can push himself and to achieve his purpose. So if you want to get wealthier faster, this is exactly what you need to apply today. And I learned this after I've invested thousands of dollars into coaching and relationships, and I had to start out small. So if you struggle with this, just start out small, getting a small coaching program. You can start out for free, you're starting at zero, bottom line, but as you build up, then you have more tokens, you have more money to reinvest. And the wealthiest people pay hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars for coaching and to learn from people, to get around the right communities so that they can implement it in their own lives and make exponentially more than what they invested. So make sure you do that. And if you need any help and if you need any guidance in the real estate space, I can connect you with my coaches that have helped me make over $70,000 within my first year at 17. So if you're interested in something like this, to connect with communities and talk with people like me, just DM me coach on Instagram so you can make sure you stay connected there as well, because that's where you can see my daily updates way more frequently than on here on YouTube and on Shorts, and you can get a really good feel of what I'm doing. So make sure you connect with me there, and I appreciate you guys watching. Let me know what you think about all this down in the comments. Should I go to completely zero? Because I'm absolutely thinking about it, because that will light the fire under me so I can make more money. I don't like money sitting in my bank, and neither should you, because that means it's being wasteful. Although, keep your emergency fund and invest everything else into yourself. Now, I hope you're a young entrepreneur that could take this and apply this today, that might be younger than me, or maybe you're older than me, but now can apply this, and you will see the results within the years to come. So appreciate you for watching, and peace out.